you know how we can catch ourselves in the narratives and what was it, like being self-deprecating. And yeah, my question was like, when we're talking about forgiveness and compassion towards the self, what does it look like? Because, you know, there's that thing like, oh, I'm going to think to be happy, and that's not going to happen. That's not going to work. It's feeling, and also being compassionate I'm even noticing those negative thoughts that are doing that, because you can't stop them because they're there, and there's no point to stopping them. But I was finding myself getting like a bit clunky through that, being like, oh, wait, what? No, stop, feel. Oh, it feels like shit. I'm horrible. Oh, wait, no, be nice. No, compassion. It's like,
yes, it can be exactly like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so compassion exists beyond the domain of thinking. You know, compassion is not dependent on any affirmation. It's not actually dependent in any way on what's happening inside the mind. The mind can be doing whatever it wants to be doing. And we can be in acceptance of what's happening in the mind, and there is the first expression of compassion. Acceptance is the first expression of compassion. Compassion is, you know, the powerful silence of wisdom that can sit quietly and just allow whatever's happening, and know that resolution doesn't come with any force of change or addressing the problem on the level of the problem. You can't change your thinking with thinking. You can't be more compassionate by thinking about it. Compassion is the act of accepting yourself fully where you're at first, relinquishing the need to control or dominate or change what is happening by a thought, by some idea. And generally that is driven by a previous idea, which is that the way that you are is not good enough, and what's happening is unacceptable. The way I am right now is unacceptable. This is not good enough. So we judge ourselves. And then what comes after a judgment? A strategy of some kind of control. Right. An authoritarian approach to trying to control the outcome. Now that can take the form of being very aggressive and mean to ourselves, or it could be just total self-loathing and move into hopelessness and depression. It can come in either way, but either way, it's a controlling mechanism, and it has nothing to do with anything other than, you know, it's the intellect grossly mistaken, believing it somehow has the power of influence over the entire system, which it does not. The intellect is just a processing mechanism of deeper, abstract energy and information, intelligence that is emerging out of us. And when we are disconnected from that intelligence, and we give credence to the intellect for too long, then it starts to believe that in actual fact it's in control. And it tries to fix everything. And there are areas that it's not an access all areas function. It's limited. And there's certain places it can't go. Compassion is access all areas. It emanates from the source. Compassion is the expression of love. And love emerges from the divine. And what is the first thing that compassion informs us to do? Surrender.
It's not an active component. It's not active. It's just.
It's not a doing thing. It's an allowing thing. Move back into being. Surrender. Surrender whatever program of control you're running right now. Let it go. Put the weapons down. And accept this moment as it is. Accept yourself as it is. And accept your power to meet the challenge of this moment. And then we bring our attention from thinking into feeling. What am I describing here? The golden sequence.
Yeah, that's right.
So surrendering, accepting, feeling, allowing the whole process to occur. We reconnect with that intelligence in the feeling process. And in that same process, we're releasing the energy, we're releasing whatever it is that's causing the mind to constantly need to control. If we can reveal to the mind the source of self, the mind naturally goes like this. It just wants to surrender. It's exhausted. It's only that we've been trained to be ever hypervigilant to impending danger. It's become so ingrained. It's trauma, like it's a trauma reaction. And so it just incessantly does it, like this, like a twitch. And the only way that we can retrain the mind to surrender to its deeper nature, to move into being, is to expose ourselves to that place. This is why meditation is critical, because meditation takes us there. And then we come out, and it takes us there. We come out, and eventually it starts to imprint on our experience with our eyes open. And we've got that foundation there to reference when we find ourselves flipping out in the mind. We can observe the mind and go, oh, I am not that. And let us investigate through compassion, through surrender, accepting, allowing, feeling, connecting, and responding to the moment from that place. We're demonstrating, we're retraining the mind. Consciousness, the deeper intelligence is at play here. We are beyond the mind. And then the mind falls in line. The mind cognizes what's going on. And then it starts to be filled with pretty coherent thoughts of the truth. The truth is always beautiful in the mind. When we allow it, it gets acquired by what's happening in a deeper layer. And insight appears, and then we're good again. And so this is the process. This vigilance of bringing ourselves back into the moment, surrendering when we notice, moving back into the heart, feeling, accepting. It's okay, everything's okay. I'm not going to fix this by anything that's happening in the mind. And we revert to that deeper divine intelligence. Come up, acquire me. Have this experience, gobble it up, devour it. And it does. And we get filled. And then we're reset. And we get on with it until we forget again. And then we do it again. And this is the retraining process. Yeah.
I just feel like sometimes though, that is perfect. But what I'm just saying is like, no, that's been great. That's what I needed to hear. But like, as I'm surrendering into feeling, like I feel like every time I fully surrender, this shit.
Yeah.
And like,
but that's good.
And it's just like, but like, you know, when's the point where it's like the baby's like, you know, crying about the thing, and you give the baby the next thing to stop thinking about that thing. Or, you know, like, oh, okay, pay my attention to the world and how I can be of service. Or, you know, sit there and go, all right, let's feel this and be compassionate towards it, and kind of walk around a bit like, you know, this feels like this everlasting layers that can just bubble out.
That's what it feels like, but it's not. It's not everlasting.
Yeah.
You know, some of us have got big barrels of stuff to process. And the truth is that every passing day you're more awake, you're more aware. Pay attention to that. You're waking up.
Yeah.
It's happening. And it's just, you're in the muddy trenches, you know, on the front line of your own enlightenment. And this is what it looks like, and this is what it feels like. And, you know, the advantage of this is that you're walking this path, and at some point, you know, within the next, you know, 5 to 10 years, you'll be masterful at this, and a very powerful resource for any other human being walking this path. And I'll go, hey, Stelly, this is what I'm going through. It's like, yeah, I know all about it. And trust me when I stay the course, you know, because that's all that's happening here.
You can say that because, yeah, I know you.
That's all that's happening here. Yeah. So, how
much attention do you give to that, though? Like,
well, for me, I went at it like a professional athlete.
Yeah, that's what I feel like I've been doing.
Yeah, great. Then, you know, you'll be playing at the highest level. And that's what we're interested in. We want to be elite athletes, spiritual athletes. Ripped on the inside.
I love that one.
I'm totally ripped on the inside. Pardon? Yeah. He's ripped on the inside and the outside. My six-pack, unfortunately, it's at one with itself. There are two things that I'd like to share with you right now. The first is that if you would like to join us for these wisdom sessions, which all the videos are recorded at on a weekly basis, all you need to do is register for our newsletter below. And the second thing I want to share with you is that we offer a free 7-day transformation program that you can access at ritam.studio, which is a part of a much bigger set of teachings, discourses, courses, and programs and retreats that are all available to our members. So if you're interested in taking this teaching to another level, then we welcome you over to Ritam Studio. Please join us.